What is up, everybody? Dan Dasilva here, and welcome. So today I have a really special guest with me. A lot of you already know who he is. I have Shawn with me here today. So what I actually want to go ahead and do is kind of explain a little bit about what we're doing over here and having this be the very first official kind of 100K Blueprint welcome, type 2.0 welcome video. And what we're going to be doing over here is Shawn came into version 1.0 and he's learned a lot, but what I actually want to go ahead and focus this video on is mainly, more than anything, Shawn's progression. And I know a lot of people struggle out there with what might work, what doesn't work, what the heck is Shopify, etc. Now, Shawn's somebody who, it's not like he was born right out the womb and he knew everything about Shopify, everything about Instagram, everything about Facebook, whatever it is. So there was always a slow progression of learning, and just like anybody else in this world, myself, Anthony, or even my videographer Doug, everybody needs to learn and keep on learning. So I'm gonna ask Shawn a few questions. First thing I'm gonna start off with is, Shawn, what made you get into Shopify and basically into e-commerce?
Well, I got a few buddies who work at Shopify, and I have a few friends who have actually started a few seven-figure subscription box services. And those really inspired me, and I kind of wanted to figure out what the formula was and what the code was and crack it.
Yeah.
I like cracking things. I like being a problem solver.
That's good. I can tell that worked out really well for you. But something I want to go ahead and kind of talk about a little bit is, first off, we talked about this a little bit before, but how did you come to know me and my brand, whether it's Dan Dasilva, eCom Dudes, whatever it is? How did you come to meet me?
Well, I joined a whole bunch of Facebook groups and picked out my favorites that had good value and quality. And I was part of, I can't remember which one of your groups, but one of them. And you had a webinar or a series of webinars going up for the 100K Blueprint. And I thought, I'm going to check out this webinar and see what it's all about. Had no intention to join it because I'd never been in a webinar before, never purchased anything like that on the internet or whatnot. And at the end of the webinar, when you started talking about the course and everything, I was like, you know what? I think I should do this. What's the worst that's going to happen? If I pull out one piece of valuable information, then it's totally worth it. So just jumped on board, and it's been a blast ever since.
You mentioned something. If you pull out one piece of information. Now, this is what I really want to hit home with, and what this video is I want to structure this around. When you say you pulled out one little tiny bit of information, you mean that in the most literal sense. Because we talked about a few things. We actually went out there, we showed Facebook ads, we talked about Instagram influencers, we touched on Bing a little bit, and we were going to touch on Google Merchant, but once I realized that there might have been information overload, I decided not to go into Google Merchant. But you had different routes that you can go down, and you chose inside the 100K Blueprint, you looked at influencers. And I still remember your results till this day. Now, obviously, it's going to be a Facebook ad that I'm going to be running as well. So I'm not going to mention any figures. But what I can say right now for everybody watching is that there's a lot of cash that he's been able to generate using one specific strategy. Shawn, if you don't mind, now I don't want you to give away your niche or anything, because the last thing we want to do is increase competition for anybody. But what I want you to go ahead and do is kind of elaborate a little bit on what your model is and what you're doing to hit your results.
Yeah, well, like Dan said, going down the Instagram influencer route, I spent maybe about 3 or 4 months trying to do the Facebook ad thing, and I thought that would be the best route to go. And it just wasn't paying off. It's super difficult, and kind of got a little discouraged, had a little mini meltdown in the summer, but what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? And when I came out of it, I thought, you know what? What's the point of continuing doing something that doesn't work? I have a lot better of a chance trying something new. And so I decided to stop doing Facebook ads, stop the store that I was doing, created a new niche store, and just went 100% Instagram influencers. And it actually took me maybe about 2 weeks to get, I wouldn't say the confidence, but the courage to go and pay, $40 kind of seems like a lot of money your first time. You don't know what's going to happen. And right from the get-go with the Instagram influencers, just got the money back, and I think I probably made like $200 profit the first day.
That's awesome. So there's something that you posted, I'll always remember. You posted that $1,000 in a single day screenshot. I was like, oh, that's cool. In my mind, I was like, okay, he probably spent like $200-300. I was like, wow, great job, Shawn. And next post under it was, yeah, it's only with $70. And I was like, oh, so the ROI is more than what I expect. I was like, wow, you're really, in the most literal sense, took one little thing that you learned, implemented it to see incredible results. Now, you also mentioned that Facebook ads and Instagram, and even if you go out there in a broader spectrum, talking about like Pinterest, Bing, Google Merchant, and just going out there, Twitter ads, etc. There's a vast majority of ways that you can generate traffic, that anybody can generate traffic. Mm-hmm. You don't need to be the best at all of them. As a matter of fact, there's not anybody on this earth that is good at all of them. It is not possible, okay? So when I want to know something, okay, about, let's say, now I'm really good and I like to pride myself over Facebook ads, and I do know a thing or two about Facebook ads. Now, I know 100% there are people better than me at influencers. For example, when I started influencers, I actually went to, right next to Shawn is Anthony, and I talked to Anthony about running a bunch of influencer campaigns, and he kind of learned everything. Now, the reason being was because of the fact that I knew if I wanted to continue making a bunch of money with Facebook, I can't derive my attention to another platform if something was still working, seeing phenomenal ROI. So what I did was I kind of delegated those tasks. I know there's money over there, and this is something we talked about as well, like project management and kind of going out there and having somebody. Now, you're really good at Instagram. Now what you can do is teach somebody how to do Instagram, and then you go and focus, maybe your energy on Facebook and really harness in on that. You can either pass off your skill, or you can hire somebody who's really good at that other skill as well. Yeah. That's kind of the aspect that I took with Anthony, and it worked out incredibly well. Not only did I learn a lot from him, but he kind of learned a whole new world of e-commerce from me as well, and Facebook ads and everything else. So again, when it comes down to it, and I love using you as an example for this, is that you don't need to be a master at everything. You just have to find one little thing, whether or not you buy a course, you're reading a book, or even books. I think books is probably the greatest example of this. Is a lot of people read 200-300 pages to find this one little sentence that's going to change their life.
Absolutely.
And that's, that one little sentence can sometimes completely change a person's life. Same thing with courses, audio tapes, YouTube videos, anything you can consume, any content you can consume, whether it's an hour, 2 hours, or whether it's 500 pages, 1,000 pages, you're always going to have to kind of, take in, or pretty much kind of accept what you learn from that, take it in kind of piece by piece, and that's pretty much what Shawn did, and he's still learning. And that's what I'm really proud about, because like I said, it's not easy when you go out there. You're right, it can get discouraging.
Very discouraging, but I talk to so many people, and I've helped my friends out too. Yeah. This is the crazy thing, is I see in all these groups, and people message me all the time. They say, "What do I need to do to get started?" Just do it.
Yeah.
Like, what's your niche? Dogs? Cool. Go find a dog account. Reach out to them. How much? Pay them on PayPal and put the post up.
Yep.
What's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to make $1,000 in a day, or you're going to lose $10, and then not to either use that product again, find a different audience.
Exactly.
It's like, it's really easy, man. It's not rocket science.
Yep. Now, I actually have a question for you. It's something that I know the answer for myself, but for somebody, that's kind of brand new, when you got into the 100K Blueprint, right? Mm-hmm. Were you more inclined to actually do something because you spent $1,000 on it?
Oh, 100%. It's the same thing when people, parents pay for their kids to go to university or something. They go and they party for 4 years, and they come out with like
a piece of paper,
and it's a general arts degree. Like, wow, cool, man.
Yeah.
But I paid for school myself, and because of that, I was more inclined to get the value out of it. I committed myself to something, and so for paying for the 100K Blueprint, it's like, hey, I paid for this. Why would I not take action? And it's totally worth doing.
So, did you spend more money on university or 100K Blueprint?
University.
Okay.
And what's made me more money?
Yeah, I guess we won't have to talk about that one, but I guess I'll leave that one right there. But yeah, again, this is something that I really want to point out, and Shawn said it the best, is kind of focusing in on one and taking action on what you learn. No matter if you spend $50 or sometimes for some universities like $100,000 plus, you got to realize it's kind of what you determine you want to walk away with is what you will walk away with. And if you implement what you learn, depending, because you can only go so far with an art degree, right? I kind of just want to end it off right there, is to go ahead and let you know that you want to take action on the things that you learn. And what I've noticed when creating a bunch of YouTube videos and providing so much value for free is that over the last year and a half, I think we've generated like over 2 million or 3 million views, something like that, something pretty awesome. And we've had hundreds of thousands of people that have come through our funnels and whatnot. But I started to notice something. There's literally a handful of people that will go ahead and, like Shawn, that will continue all the way through and keep on learning no matter what they're faced with. No matter what the obstacle is, they'll keep on learning no matter what they are faced with. In any encounter, they're going to keep on going and learning because why? Because they know at the end of the day, there is light at the end of the tunnel, right? So when it comes down to it, I know you're still trying to figure out, Facebook ads and learning as much as you can about it. And what I love and what I really want to point out about this right now is that you don't just stop at going out there and you can buy courses, learn as much as you can, but you go out there and contact people who know about it, which is the best thing that you can do, because there's one thing where it's learning about it from a video course or a book, and there's another thing, contacting other people who are doing it. Yeah. And that's kind of the difference between somebody who is really serious about it and somebody who's like, okay, yeah, this will make me some type of passive income. So again, I just want to commend you on that. It's pretty awesome. So again, Shawn, any final words? If not, I guess I'll kind of just wrap this up.
Final words, just take action. Nothing's going to happen if you don't do it yourself. Take responsibility for your life and see what the reward's going to be.
Definitely. So again, guys, thank you so much. My name is Dan Dasilva, and really quickly before I end this off, just keep in mind, 100K Blueprint 2.0 will be coming out. I don't have any dates for it yet. I kind of just came to Toronto to hang out with Shawn and whatnot, kind of see the city as well. And I asked him, for a favor to come sit down. I know he's been through 1.0, has seen amazing results. We've had tons of other students as well that have seen phenomenal results. And what I just want to let you know is we will be announcing a date, but as of right now, we're kind of just going to leave it on a cliffhanger. I want you to just consume all this content as well, ironically enough, that I kind of, put together for you. So without any further ado, thank you so much for coming here and checking out this video. I'll catch you guys soon. Cool. That was solid.
Cool.